Hello everybody, my name is The Chef and welcome back to another One Piece Bounty Rush video. In today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be doing a 3-part mini-series of how to improve your gameplay and pretty much giving you some things you could follow to help improve playing each specific type of character class. This case, we're going to be doing Defender, the next one probably Runner, and then followed by Attacker. I'm doing them in the order I feel are the most important roles. Not saying that, it depends on some attackers can actually be good defenders and slash runners and vice versa. But each character role should be played accordingly if you want the smoothest experience and have a better chance of winning. So defenders are a very important class in the game, probably the most important in my opinion. I mean, the whole goal is to capture the flag and hold more flags than your opponent by the end of the round. And 90% of the time, you won't get a 5-flag victory. So, I can't stress it enough how important it is to have defenders, especially tanky ones, on the point at all times. And your goal pretty much as a defender is to fucking charge that joint with that sweet, sweet defender juice. I'm going to give you a short list of things you can do to improve your gameplay as a defender so that pretty much your teammates don't destroy their mobile devices in rage because you couldn't hold it down. So with that, let's get into the first step. Step 1. Take a look at your defender's traits, skills, and use medals that complement them. In some cases, you might want to go full defense, full HP, to improve your tankiness, or in others you might want to go full attack depending on your playstyle. And if your character already has pretty much insane defense or damage reduction built into their traits, mixed builds work well too, but modern day defenders have pretty high damage reduction, up to 70% sometimes, which when the conditions are met, you're pretty much invulnerable to damage. Now that being said, they are often limited to being inside your flag or staying above a certain HP threshold, but you can accentuate that by adding medals. Some give an additional 15% flat out boost when you're in your flag area, for example, and that's not even considering the HP or defense percentages that you might be getting from the medal as well. Now if you choose to go down that route, you're pretty much going to just want to stay on the flag at all times and just not really budge and just try to charge. And you won't be doing the most damage, but you will be really hard to kill. Additionally, you should look at the medal tags and see if they offer any good perks that might be towards your skill cooldown or additional damage reduction, dodge speed, etc. Again, pretty much the whole goal. Build medals around your character's skills that can help accentuate them. Fujitora is a good example. Like if you add a couple of 5% damage reduction medals to his already additional crazy damage reduction, he's pretty much taking no damage when you're in your flag area. So with that, let's just move on to step 2. Number 2. And I don't mean shit. I know normally I'm talking about poop and whatnot, but we're having real talks right now. So this is real number 2. So take a look at the maps that are active and choose a defender based off of those maps. What I mean by that is you don't want to see Big Mom in Nighttime Alabasta, for example. After getting hit by 2 or 3 tornadoes, she's pretty much below her HP threshold. And her damage reduction is gone, which is basically she's just a big piñata for your enemies. Another example would be maybe you want to choose a ranged defender if there's maps where there's environmental obstacles like Arlong Park or Dressrosa, for example, because you can actually defend at a range and usually defend more flags, like 1 or more flags at the same time. Once you're in the game, check out your team in the loading screen. If you know that there's a ranged defender on your team that's more suitable for defending the first flag, maybe just let them guard that flag and push to a separate flag where you could potentially capture a different flag and hold it down. Because your goal is to not just kind of sit there and do nothing. Like if you're defending, you may as well, you know, do some damage at the same time. If you're not a ranged defender, you may as well go in there and try to help. While defending is what I mean. If there's an instance where, you know, you're both ranged defenders, just let whoever gets there first to the first flag guard it. And if your teammate wants to be a dirty little bitch and just sit there and act like a complete degenerate fool, just let him guard it, because clearly he's a psychopath and probably still feeds from their mother's titties. But with that, let's just move on to the third step. Step 3, bitch. Play your motherfucking role, okay? Defend your flags. You don't need to be running around with your dick in your hand when you don't need to be, okay? If you want to push for that fourth flag, just don't. Just sit there and charge up your flags, and if your other teammates want to go and do that, just let them do that, okay? And if everything's going in your team's favor, maybe you can go over and charge it up, but I would highly suggest you stay on those first 2 or 3 flags that you guys already have. Just don't leave that flag unless you absolutely need to, is basically what I'm trying to say. Because if the opposite team ends up getting T-boost and then they slaughter your team, which is 90% of the time, they will push towards that middle flag, and if there's nobody there, the chance of you holding that W is pretty much slim to none. So while you're standing in the middle flag and they have team boost, maybe you're tanky enough to deal with it and your team can spawn and come back and back you up. But you know, in the event that somebody's trying to back cap, obviously if you can stop them, it's great, but sometimes they're going to be able to sneak past you because there's certain maps where there's too many obstacles and lots of travel. For example, Fishman Island or Sabaody. So if in that instance, check to see if you have teammates that have died, and if someone's respawning, let them go deal with it. Unless your team is utterly demolishing the other team, then maybe you have a good chance to go and help your teammate and you know, beat the guy that's trying to back cap. But that brings me to my next point. Step 4. Watch the mini-map. It's insane how many people don't utilize their mini-map. It'll literally improve your awareness of what's going on during the round tenfold. Not only can you see where the enemies are located, which is especially important if they're flanking, but you can also see where items spawn if you need a quick heal. That being said, you can use stamps that'll actually help out your team. And I know it seems silly, and sometimes annoying, but there are actually a few that you can use to really help out your team in sticky situations, because it is literally the only way to communicate with them. Now, I'm not saying that all stamps are useful. We've experienced that one butthole who keeps telling you to get more combos in League Battle, which makes no fucking sense. And if you see that, the chances of you winning have pretty much dropped by a whopping 200%. The stamps I'm referring to that are useful are ones such as Watch Your 6, or Help, or even Guard Treasure, maybe Get Treasure, and most importantly, get more combos. Now, all jokes aside though, letting your team know that you need help is when somebody is flanking, it can be really clutch, especially in like the latter half of the match. But with that, let's go to the next fifth and final point. Step 5. Guard the middle flag. God damn it. I know I mentioned the middle flag before, but I cannot stress its importance enough, okay? If you control the middle flag, you control the entire field and the flow of battle, essentially, okay? Puts the enemy under a lot of pressure and forces them to panic and push towards other flags that you are either already protecting or the ones that are behind you, so you have a better chance of protecting them and intercepting. This isn't always going to be the case, because if your team feels like pushing towards that 4th and 5th flag, as I mentioned before, and they're unsuccessful, you best believe you're going to be getting your wig split and your cheeks taken, or at least you have a high chance of that happening, okay? Best thing to do is have 3 flags in the latter half of the match, and if you have at least 2 people on that middle flag, it'll take a lot of weight off your shoulders. And when the enemy team comes guns blazing and they're offering the other 2 teammates who are a little bit too ambitious, you have a really good chance of holding that middle flag. Oh yeah, and also don't smoke crack. So with that, my list is complete. follow these 5 easy steps, your gameplay and experience playing the game will hopefully improve. Let me know if I covered everything or if I missed something in the comments below. If you guys liked the video, please like the video and subscribe for more of these tips and tricks. And of course, delicious One Piece Bounty Rush gameplay. Peace.